Now, joining me now to discuss this, a blatant attack on his constitutional rights, David Schoen, former Trump impeachment lawyer. David, it's almost like he's trying to throw his own trial here. Am I wrong? I have never heard of this type of unfair practice on the part of a sitting state or federal judge, ever.
He's just continuing the circus. He's effectively extending his gag order to the courtroom, which is really unprecedented. Listen, and most absurd of all is this isn't a jury trial. It's one thing to limit closing argument to with certain restrictions, but he's saying that President Trump can't speak on his own behalf about this case with the same terms as he put in the gag order. In other words, it's always fair game to challenge the integrity of the process or the investigation or the plaintiff or the prosecutor. In this case, you have a judge who's made it into a circus, constantly tries to mock President Trump. You have an attorney general who ran on an election platform of getting a private citizen, President Trump, unethical and unheard of. And now he can't speak about that process. That's specifically what the judge said. He cannot, if he were to speak, he can't disparage the attorney general. That's always fair game. It's called closing argument.
Well, David, Trump's lawyers, I think, also tried, did they not, to delay the closing argument. Again, this no jury. This is just in front of the judge. But in light of the death of his wife's mom, Melania's mother, the judge wrote that he was sorry to hear the sad news, but quickly denied the request. David, what's the rush here?
There's no rush. This judge loves the limelight. I think in some ways, though, if the American public is as fair as I believe them to be, this is only going to help President Trump in the polls. It's one more attack that's completely unfair, and it's unnecessary. These guys should play it straight. But there's a reason this judge has been reversed in other cases against other developers. And in this case, he's gone so far overboard. This thing is a travesty. They're really well served. Get away from him and get on with the appeal in this case. It's unbelievable. I'm sure he has his opinion written already. This is not the kind of integrity of our judicial process that the American people deserve and should expect.
I mean, I'd say he'd get a better deal in front of a TV judge, but I mean, it's almost like it's a parody of itself. He looks like the parody of a judge. And Letitia James is obviously a political force she thinks to be reckoned with. She's trying to build her own resume to run for governor someday. And this is what we're dealing with in the height of a presidential election? This is madness.
It demeans the system. It demeans the process. The American people are entitled to have a strong belief in the integrity of their system. Our system depends on it. You can't, when you have a judge, I hate to say this, but acting like a clown and really turning it into a circus and making himself center stage, the whole business with his law clerk or secretary, whatever it is, it's all a distraction. But again, fair-minded people ought to see it as the attack that it is and the unfair attack.
Yeah, well, David, I appreciate it. Thank you.